Hey there, this is your Pallie with a quick overview of the add-on Oqueue. This add-on is used to find groups for just about everything: raids, dungeons, BGs, whatever you're looking for. To get this add-on, you need to go to solidice.com/Oqueue. You'll be able to download it just like any other add-on, plop it in your WoW interface add-ons folder, and off you go. To access the add-on, you click on this Oqueue button up here, and you get a list of lots of things. So let's go through this interface really quickly. What you'll see down here first is a list of filters that sort this out for arenas, battlegrounds, challenge modes, dungeons, whatever you're looking for. Certainly one of the most popular ones is going to be raids at the moment. And you can see there's a variety of people looking for different raids. So let's take a look further at this interface. This first icon on the left is telling you what kind of voice communication program they're using for the raid. So in this case it's Ventrilo. Over here is Mumble. And these ones are not using any voice comms at all. Then you have the leader and probably the level and item level requirement. And then what they currently have in the group. So this group has 1 tank, 2 healers, and 6 DPS. And there's also a description of what they actually need. So for example, this 10-man group is needing 1 tank, and then they're good to go. It also shows what they're actually trying to raid, which is Siege of Orgrimmar 10-man. And it shows how many bosses that they've downed so far. That's 0 out of 14. You can also take a look on the right-hand side on this window that's popped up. That gives you a list of how many times they've wiped and how many bosses they've killed with this group in general. There's a big system for tracking how people are doing, how good leaders are, but I won't get into that just at this point, since this is a simple overview. To apply to get into a group, you'll be clicking this waitlist button, which actually sends a friend request via Real ID and lets them know that you're interested in applying. If you are accepted, you'll get a friend request back, and probably an invite to the group. So you can use this application process for whatever you're looking for: rated battlegrounds, arenas, or raids. If you see that you don't have the ability to click on the waitlist button, that means that you don't meet the requirements for whatever the group is looking for. So for example, this one, I likely don't have the item level requirement or the rating, so there's no way that they're going to let me into this group, and it won't let me even apply. One last thing before moving on about how to create a group, let me point out this eyeglass up here. This is a search button that allows you to type in whatever you're looking for in terms of searching for a group. So if you're just looking for some YOLO RPGs, you could type in YOLO, and it searches and filters it out for you, and you'll be able to get to what kind of group you want. So how would you create a group? Well, you click on this tab down here called Create Premade. This gives you a nice little interface to set up your group. So let's say we're trying to run a Flex 4 Awesome raid. Yeah, that's us. You fill out the name. If you want to have an item level requirement, you can put that here. The resilience and BG rating obviously doesn't mean much for a Flex 4. But then you can also put a description here which says, hey, we need all, or just need 2 more tanks, or whatever you need, whatever you're wanting to do, you can put that in this description. If you also want to put notes about how you're using a public vent or what room number, all that kind of stuff, you can do that in this section as well. What you'll need to certainly fill out is this right-hand side, which describes what categories and what you're actually looking for and what you're doing. So you would want to click on, say, Raid, and maybe you are raiding Siege of Orgrimmar, sure. And then let's specify that you're going to be using, say, Ventrilo for your voice communications. You can also say that you would like, only English speakers to be applying. If you want to, you can check some of these boxes to enforce certain classes or roles being applied, but that's up to you. Once you click the Create Premade button, you'll be listed on Oqueue and you'll start getting applications. I won't go into how that interface looks. There's documentation on solidace.com that shows you how all that goes down. So the last thing that I would like to point out is the Setup tab. This has many different fantastic options for you to be looking at, but one of the great ones is this Remove Oqueue Added BNet Friends. So as you get into groups and as you hang out in Oqueue and do lots of things there, you'll certainly be collecting a lot of Battle.net friends who are adding you. If you don't want to keep all of them, or you only want to keep a few of them, you can use some of these buttons here to remove people who you only met through Battle.net and only met through Oqueue. This will let you get rid of that premade group, premade RBG that went horribly, and you never have to have that guy broadcast to you or talk to you ever again. So use these buttons to keep your list clean. You are only allowed 100 real ID friends, so this is a useful bit of options here. And that has been my quick overview on the Oqueue add-on. As always, if you have questions, you can post comments here or post comments on tankspot.com, which is where this will be featured. And as always, if you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe to me for many other videos in the future that are like this, along with video guides and other things that are featured on tankspot.com. Thanks all, and have a good one.